Okay, I think that's time if we want to just wait for some more people, but we are ready to get started on our How to Boost Your Revenue Behind the Chair with Artists on Go and Keratin Complex. Hello, everyone. From Michigan, Vegas. Wow.
All right.
We love to see that. I'm in New York. I'm Katie. I'm in New York. I'm in a WeWork office situation. This lovely painting behind me that is not mine. And this
I love it though. It looks good.
this orb coming out of my head.
We know where the light's coming from. That's what that's about. Right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Paul, where are you
I
located?
am in Boca Raton, Florida. So South Florida.
Ooh,
It is a
nice.
hot day today. So
I'm
see
sure.
me doing this because that's what that is. Um, but yeah, I'm in the corporate headquarters here in Boca Raton. That's where Keratin Complex resides. So
Nice.
excited to be here and excited to share some
Is
stuff.
it you? It's always hot in Florida, I feel like, right?
It
Is that
is the great thing about it. It's about probably 85 degrees all year long. It just fluctuates up and down from there.
Yep.
But with humidity at 88, 90%, it can get a little bit unbearable a little bit. So,
Ooh.
uh,
Yeah,
but
that's crazy. Well, I'm originally from Louisiana, so I can kind of
oh,
understand
so
the.
you felt that, right?
Oh yeah, that's why I escaped. That's why I left. I can't take the heat.
Yeah. Well, most people in New York, New Jersey, they end up heading down this way, right? So
True,
especially
that's true.
winter time, right? So we have a
Yeah.
lot of transplants down here that love their keratin complex, right? So um,
Absolutely.
why we call this home. It's kind of the best place to be when you're dealing with hair issues and things like
Oh yeah,
that.
humidity is a huge thing down there for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess we can get started.
Yeah, let's get going. Let's have some fun.
Why not?
Why not?
Okay, so we can just kind of go over like what we're going to talk about today. Um, this is all about how to boost your revenue behind the chair with both Artists on Go. I will be the Artist on Go part. Hi, I'm Katie. I am the marketing content manager at Artists on Go. So all of the marketing things you see on our Instagram, emails, everything that is moi. And yeah, I've been at Artists on Go since December. Artists on Go, I'll give a little debrief about Artists on Go later. But Paul, if you want to introduce yourself
Yeah, my name is
as well.
Paul Daubert. I'm the Director of Education for Keratin Complex. So I deal with everything education with Keratin Complex. So it's really diving deep into products, protocols, things like that, really kind of helping stylists and salons boost revenue behind the chair, which with Artists on Go is kind of that flexibility that you get with Artists on Go is kind of the flexibility that Keratin Complex relies with all their products and things like that. So we're going to be able to share a whole bunch of new things. And what we hope that you'll leave today with is a bigger understanding, not only on Artists on the Go or Artists on Go, right, on
Yes.
that platform and able to use the resources that Artists on Go can give you. We've kind of partnershiped with Artists on Go to help fill in that flexibility with an express service menu. So a lot of times with stylists and salons, it's all about the time that they are working behind the chair, and that's a great thing about Artists on Go, right? Is to be able to go in and kind of have that flexibility to fit within some salons in your area. You know, kind of grab a chair for maybe a couple hours, maybe couple days, a whole month, and be able to maximize that revenue that you're getting behind the chair. And so we're going to go over some business building tips. We're going to go over the express services, the products that make up our Keratin Complex express service menu. And then we're actually going to do a demo on my little friend back here of our KC Express smoothing treatment, and we're going to show you how to utilize that product to really boost everything that you're doing in the salon, and then some aftercare and some supporting retail to really help support and maintain the services that you're doing behind the chair. And then, of course, we have a great KC Express giveaway that we're excited today during this webinar. So don't leave until you hear your name win at the end. That's really what I'm not picking the name. So don't blame me if you don't win. We have somebody else picking the name, but everybody that is involved and jumping in this webinar will be able to be have an opportunity to get that giveaway, which we're going to go over in just a little bit. So we've got a jam-packed hour and a half of fun times. And so Katie and I are going to just kind of roll with it and go with it. And we love questions and things like that. So just if you have any questions, throw them down in the chat. We're going to be answering some questions as we go. And then at the end, if you have specific things that you want to ask Katie or myself, at the end of this webinar, you'll be able to really dive deep into some of those personalized questions at the very end of this webinar. But don't hesitate. If you have a question on what we're talking about or what we're doing, throw it down, because we love answering questions. I know I love answering questions. It really keeps the ball rolling and allows me to really make sure that you guys are understanding what we're talking about. So we've got a jam-packed time here together to discuss everything Artists on Go and Keratin Complex.
Yeah, we're excited to get started. And as Paul said, if you have questions, leave them in the chat. We'll get to them at the end. And so, yeah, unless it's like, something that we're talking about actively, we can address it at that time too. But yeah, let's get started. I'm going to talk a little bit about Artists on Go, what the concept is, what the heck is Artists on Go. Basically, Artists on Go is a rental management platform. We designed it for beauty pros. So that includes, brow people, estheticians, nail artists, and hairstylists and makeup artists. Our biggest clients are obviously hairstylists and makeup artists because we work with a lot of salons. So basically, we have an AI matching program that matches stylists with their ideal salon. We call it Your Vibe, Find Your Vibe. And so we work with both the salons and the artists, trying to match them together, and the goal is to find your home as an artist, but also have access to a flexible renting style. So we have hourly, we have daily, we have weekly, we have monthly, and you're only ever paying for the time that you're in the chair. So no flat rate rents. You're not paying for, an entire month at a salon when you only work 3 days a week. If you're working 3 days a week, you pay for 3 days a week. You're working 40 hours a month, you pay for 40 hours a month. That's sort of our what drives us with Artists on Go. We want to give artists the flexibility to pick the plan that they want and work when they want and not work when they don't, and only pay for the time when they work. So yeah, that's sort of the gist of Artists on Go. And then for salons, we kind of take your empty chairs that you have, because stylists, like I said, only want to work 3 or 4 days a week. We take those chairs for you that you have sitting empty, and we try and fill them for you so that you can boost your revenue as a salon owner as well. And sort of manage all that rental process. So all the stylists that you have renting the chairs, is this chair available at this time? I'm not sure if this stylist has paid me this month or this week, whatever. We sort of handle all of the payments, handle all of the back and forth with the artists, and sort of take that extra work off of you. So all you have to do is manage your commission stylist or your other renters that you have, whatever you choose. So just sort of giving a little bit more flexibility even to the salon owners to sort of do whatever they need to do in their own salon. So that's sort of the gist of Artists on Go. And if you're looking for a chair in your perfect salon, feel free to head to our website and check us out. But yeah, that's Artists on Go. That's the gist.
That is the gist. And I love it because that's ultimately what we do, right? In our industry, it's really just having a space to do what we love, and being able to be flexible on where we want to be. The industry has changed a lot within the last 5 years. And so It's really great to have opportunities to be able to expand what you're doing, and be able to offer, services, whatever part of the industry you have a piece in, be able to give that clientele that you have exactly what they need, no matter where they go. And so this is great. That I love that. This partnership with Artists on Go is really kind of fits right in what we're talking about here with Keratin Complex, because when we talk about Keratin Complex specifically, it's really about beautiful hair every day, and having the tools and the products and the treatments and the color and everything that Keratin Complex offers to be able to give that transformation to that client, for them to have stronger, healthier, protected, smooth hair, which every single client is ultimately looking for at the end of every service. As a stylist or a colorist behind the chair, we're ultimately trying to give them healthier hair by whatever services we're offering. And so with Keratin Complex, it's really about that healthy, strong, smooth outcome, no matter what service that can be connected with in the salon. And we have some treatments, we have some products that we're going to talk about today, that can really boost that time behind the chair, because with Artists on Go, it's really about that time behind the chair. So with Keratin Complex, and especially what we're going to share today with our express service menu, it's really about maximizing that time behind the chair and maximizing revenue whenever that client is sitting in that chair, that you're able to give them exactly what they need on every visit, on every service that you offer. And so that's really what it's about. And with Keratin Complex, we are the #1 in keratin in the world. And we're going to go over what that means in a couple of minutes. But really, in our industry today, especially with keratin, it is kind of a misunderstood word, right? There's a lot of things in our industry. Keratin can kind of go a lot of different directions. And so before we even go over some of the Keratin Complex products and treatments and stuff, in a little bit, we're going to actually talk about what is keratin, so you have a better knowledge and a better confidence behind you as you grab some of these Keratin Complex products and you go onto the Artists on Go app and website and grab your chair. You're able to have the tools that you can carry along with you to maximize that revenue and start building businesses in minutes, not by client. And I think that's where our industry is kind of changing. It's not really about more clients means more money. That's sometimes a misnomer in our industry, especially nowadays. It's about maximizing that one client that is sitting in your chair right now, and finding avenues to be able to expand them out and to maximize not only the revenue you can make off of that client, but maximize the services, maximize the love that you can give to that client every single time. And that's really what Keratin Complex is all about. So that's our little message, right?
That's a great point. Just like giving the most attention you can to the clients that you have is something that I think is a great point. If you want to build more revenue, start with the clients you already have. It doesn't have to be, let me add more, let me work more, let me work myself to death. It's like, no, like pay more attention to the clients that you have, and maybe they're looking for services that you don't offer. And instead of, telling them to go to a different stylist or, something like this, you can offer these things to clients because maybe they're looking for maybe they want this and they had no idea that that's something that they needed in the first place. So I think that's a really great point. And so just for us, what is keratin? How does this work?
What is keratin? That's a great question. Well, our industry has kind of morphed keratin into a specific finish in the hair. So keratin is no longer an ingredient in our industry. Mm-hmm. If I walked up to a client and just said the word keratin, a lot of times I like to say that the stylist and the client both have like one of those bubbles that, the little cloud bubbles that pop up, and they have a vision of what keratin means to them.
Yeah.
And, if you've ever done anything cosmetology, you've had to go to cosmetology school, you've had to go through all the basics of the industry. And when I talk about keratin, especially before I start talking about Keratin Complex, it's important to understand what keratin is to actually grow that knowledge from that kind of seed that I'm going to plant today. And so keratin is very simple. It's a protein that your hair is primarily made up of. So your hair can, the whole entire structure of hair is almost up to 95% keratin. So if you think of keratin, it is the main, kind of structural and protection focused ingredient in your hair. And so, so keratin is actually one of the biggest things as a stylist and colorist that we deal with on a regular basis, because keratin, the minute that it exits the scalp and starts growing into the hair, that keratin is no longer attached to anything, right? That's why a lot of people say my hair is so dead, or the hair down here is no good, right? It's still full of keratin. The key is that keratin is depleted on a regular basis due to environmental, mechanical, chemical things on a daily basis. And so what we have at Keratin Complex is we have a bioidentical keratin. It's called signature keratin, and every single one of the products that I'm going to show you today has the same exact signature keratin. And the importance of keratin is that we have a signature keratin that can actually go into the hair and naturally bond with human keratin that's in your hair. And so, so what we have is a proprietary signature keratin that goes in and can actually bond with the keratin that's in our hair to get the hair back to healthy, get the hair back to strong, get the hair back to protected, to where that hair can be healthy and strong. And in, all intents purposes, keratin does not equal smooth or equal straight or equal a finish. Keratin equals healthy, first of all. And if you think out there in your world, everybody's looking for healthy hair. And one of the easiest things to make somebody's hair healthy is to utilize Keratin Complex signature keratin in any of our products, even our shampoos and conditioners, all the way up to some of our long-term treatments. You're able to naturally bond that keratin to the hair to give a healthier hair fabric. And in return, right, if keratin equals healthy and strong and protected, then what you ultimately have is a perfected hair to where it's going to be soft, silky, shiny, smooth, and in some of our products actually reduce texture and get a straighter finish. And so it's up to you to customize that finish for the client. But the main ingredient that we deal with here at Keratin Complex is that signature keratin, and the power of keratin to really kind of replenish that keratin that is lost on a daily basis through our clients. It's amazing to me. And I've been behind the chair for almost over 25 years now. And it's amazing, after every service, most of the work is not from the actual service. It's about the result of that service and trying to get the hair back to, or get to that hair to a certain point to where it feels healthy, right? So lightening services, chemical services like perms, relaxers, things like that. Even a blow dry, right? We're putting finishing products, we're amplifying the result of that hair. And all we are is trying to, kind of get a finish that makes the hair healthy. But the great thing about Keratin Complex is through all the steps of the service and the finish, we're able to utilize products with keratin that's going to allow us to work faster, easier to achieve that healthier, strong, protected hair for that client to be able to go home and even take home some retail and aftercare to be able to maintain that keratin replenishment through all of our take-home products as well. And so it's really about making beautiful hair every day here at Keratin Complex. And that's kind of in a nutshell what keratin is. It's not a product. It's not a finish on the hair. It's an actual, component of our hair that is essential for the health of our hair. And so utilizing good quality, strong keratin like Keratin Complex is the first step to achieving that beautiful, healthy, strong, smooth hair at the end of every single service.
Wow, I learned so I just learned something.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
truly thought it was just for just reducing frizz. It's just what the frizz, all about the frizz. I just assumed that's what it was for. But it's good to know that, like, it's also for you're strengthening the bond of your hair in general, because this is something that's already in your hair. So you're just giving your hair more of what it needs to be strong, which we love that.
Yeah, and a lot of times our clients will go, if they have weak hair or dry hair, they usually go to masks or some sort of protein treatment to be able to kind of, build up some strength and hydration that way. And those are great, but those are more like Band-Aids or semi-permanent fixes where they wear off and the hair just reverts back to what it was, right?
Mm-hmm.
But introducing signature keratin in a normal routine with each and every client that sits in your chair, it doesn't have to be just a treatment. It could be just a shampoo and conditioner to be able to just replenish, microscopically that keratin and naturally bond to the hair to give it natural flexibility, natural health to the hair, can ultimately expand every service you're doing. Because just think about if you had healthy hair at the beginning of any service, whatever service you do, you are going to end with a better outcome than if you started with something that was unhealthy or overcompromised or weak or damaged. And so being able to fit in keratin complex products, treatments, color, things like that utilizes that signature keratin, you're able to grow a foundation of healthy hair within a client to where it actually overlaps into every other service that you offer behind the chair. Because now you're dealing with more healthy, strong, and integrity-based hair to be able to kind of offer new things to clients. That's one thing that stylists sometimes kind of a client comes in and they only have a set of services that you do on them because their hair won't allow you to go outside those barriers that the hair has created. With Keratin Complex, we're able to break those barriers, and that allows you different paths of new, exciting services for your client that they never knew was possible because we're adding that health back into the hair, and they're ultimately having softer, silkier, shinier, smooth hair that they're dealing with at home. They're going to get more excited about their hair, and that's going to grow that revenue behind the chair because you're able to offer them other avenues of success for their hair. And maybe that client that never got a highlight because they had that one highlight before that, came out in the shower.
Yeah.
We're able to build a foundation with our signature keratin and our products to where maybe now, once that hair is healthy and strong, we're able to start now introducing lightening services into their routine, which one, expands what they believe, is possible for their hair. But second, it actually grows revenue behind the chair because you're now, kind of offering another service within that bubble of that client. And that bubble can get bigger and bigger and bigger, and it'll never pop because it's only going to fill up with what you're able to give. And so with Keratin Complex and utilizing Keratin Complex and our signature keratin to that bioidentical keratin, that's very important, goes in and just can really expand what you do behind the chair, no matter what service you're doing. So that's what the keratin is.
Yeah, I think I'm sure there's some blondes in this watching this right now thinking, I simply can't keep going blonde. My hair's breaking off. And they're looking at this going, oh, maybe I need to add some keratin so I can keep bleaching my hair and keep being the blonde.
And it's important to know, right? Because keratin is a protein, so it's a little scary, right? When you're thinking of, overproteinization of hair is very serious in our industry. But with signature keratin, because it replenishes naturally, with Keratin Complex products and the keratin that we utilize, you're never going to over keratinize because we're only replenishing what the hair is missing to get back to healthy. And so everything else just will not bond to the hair. And so what you're finished with is a perfected and healthy type of hair to be able, and then anytime after that, you're just maintaining that healthy keratinized hair. And so all keratin isn't created equal. Quality is key in our industry, right? So, shampoo, salon shampoo and drugstore shampoo, they're both shampoos, but ingredients, things like that can make a huge difference to the overall effect of that. The same as with our signature keratin. We have the highest quality of of keratin in our product. It's bioidentical. And so you're able to utilize keratin complex on a daily basis without having any negative effect on your hair. So you're only going to get positive effects, which why not, right? So that's where we're at.
Who doesn't want more positives in their hair? Right?
We all need more positive, especially in 2024, right?
Exactly. Okay, and if you didn't know, we are doing a giveaway of the KC Express system kit. Paul, can you tell them what's included in the little system kit? Just a little.
Yeah, so I actually have the box right here. This is what you guys.
Not me. I don't want to see
Not
me.
you, maybe me, but
we don't want to see me.
No, we don't.
There we go.
So this is actually the kit that that we're giving away today. You're actually receiving the average application for KC Express is 1 ounce. So you're getting a 4-ounce system kit, which will do 4 heads of hair. And you actually get 4 retail supported products as well. So just in the retail alone, you're going to make a lot of money just, either giving this to your client or selling this to a client. And what you get is 4 treatments of our KC Express and the 2-part system here with our KC Primer pre-treatment shampoo and our KC Express will boost revenue right away. I'm gonna show you how to do this. So whoever wins this is actually getting a small little taste of the actual demo of this. So you're gonna be able to get this and start right away achieving that beautiful hair every day with KC Express. And so that is what you're going to get. So this is a huge benefit. It's almost like a business in a box.
Yeah.
It works right in with Artists on Go, right? Because you're able to just bring this box in with you. If you're in a salon for maybe, grabbed a 3-hour block at a salon and you have that time in the chair, KC Express is a 15-minute add-on service to any other service in the salon. So that 3 hours can be actually maximized with just an extra 15 minutes behind the chair. And I'm going to show you how that is possible a little later when we actually go through the demo. So good luck to everybody that's in this webinar. You have a chance to grab this KC Express Blowout Smoothing System and start making money right away and get that beautiful.
Yeah, we're excited. I'm excited to see it. I'm sure everyone else is as well. So let's go over a little bit of the Express service menu. How can you upgrade your service in the salon? How many products, all the things.
Yeah, we just talked about the KC Express, right? That is actually part of our Express service menu. What we wanted to do was take some of our best products and give you a menu of fast services that only take 15 minutes or less in the salon. So all the services on this Express service menu and the products that make up that menu all are built for that add-on service capability of these products to every single service that sits in your chair. We have 5 products with the supported product, right? So actually 6 products with our Keratin Obsessed, and we're going to go over that in a minute. But 5 products with 7 fast services that take 15 minutes or less. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to go through each of the 5 products real quickly and just kind of showcase them a little bit, and then show you how easy each of these products is to just throw in a bag, go to the salon, touch every client that sits in your chair, and add that revenue right away on top of those services. And everybody's looking for a little extra now, right? So, they're coming in for a color, but for a fast little service at a kind of maybe a low service price, you're able to capture extra dollars behind the chair, but you're also giving them something that, like I said before with our signature Keratin, can open the doors to other maybe bigger services or bigger revenue services in the future by just giving them a taste of something that you can do really quick in the salon without any extra work, really. And a couple of these products are really literally just put on the hair and you're done, right? And so being able to utilize some of these products like that is a perfect avenue for this express service menu. So let's start with our first product in our express service menu, and that is our express smoothing treatment. I just talked a little bit about KC Express, right? Now, really, the system is really just these two products.
Mm-hmm.
You do not need the Keratin Obsessed as part of the treatment. That's just a added benefit of you receiving the 4-ounce service kit. Mm-hmm. But these two products make up KC Express. So you have the KC Primer, which is the pre-treatment shampoo, and then you have the treatment. The great thing about this is KC Express is a 1-hour standalone treatment. So from start to finish, if I was just doing a KC Express service, it would take 1 hour of time from start to finish. Mm-hmm. But the great thing about KC Express is it requires no saturation time. So this is a smoothing treatment that can eliminate frizz, lock in color. So this is a great color locking treatment. So when I say KC Express, one of my favorite services to add this to is a color service, because what you're doing, like we talked about before, right? A lot of times after a color or after a lightener service, what we're doing is we're trying to close a cuticle. We're trying to protect the color. We're trying to keep the color vibrant.
Yes.
We don't have to work so hard with KC Express. It does that automatically with these two products, right? KC Primer and KC Express.
And what's the difference between the primer and just the other?
Yeah, so this is, the primer is actually the pre-treatment shampoo.
Okay.
So this is the prep of the treatment. This is the actual treatment.
Okay.
Right? So this is what goes on and then just gets blow dried in the hair, and then 2 to 4 passes with the iron is all it takes to seal this treatment within the hair, and you get up to 6 weeks of smoothing results, right? And color lock results. And if you think in our industry, what service is really on that 6-week rotation in our industry? Katie, I'm going to ask you this. What service behind the chair is really on a 6-week rotation?
I feel like, isn't it color services, highlights, things
color,
like that?
right?
Yeah.
So think about that gray coverage, right? They sometimes 3, 4, maybe that 6 weeks when that growth comes out, maybe that ½ inch. Color services really live on an average on a 6-week rotation. So with KC Express, because it can last up to 6 weeks in the hair, you could in turn add this to every color service, every visit of a client. So every 6 weeks, I now have an add-on service that I'm able to now add to my color services to maximize that result of that color. So making that color, stay in a lot longer. So longevity of that color, or more vibrant results, getting rid of the frizz. So when a lot of times color comes out of clients' hair because they put their hair through so much, they're at home with curling irons and hot blow dryers, and you're actually breaking the bonds of that color and fading that color out. With KC Express, I'm able to lock in that keratin to strengthen the hair from the inside, but also protect the hair from the outside to allow that color to be so much stronger in the long run with KC Express. And so utilizing these two products, the pre-treatment and then the KC Express, you're able to now add this to haircuts, add this to color services, add this to blow dries, things like that. And it's only going to take an extra 15 minutes when added to any other service. And I'm going to explain how that works when we're actually demoing. But it is because you can interject the protocol of this treatment into any service. And so it's kind of a cool treatment. We call it Express because it's very fast. We call it Express because it's super easy. And we call it Express because that's what the client is asking for, something to come in that they don't have to sit. We have some treatments in our portfolio that it takes up to 3 hours to do. Of course, you're going to get that longest longevity out of it. But some of the clients are, in that artist on go kind of feeling, right? They want to come in for a certain amount of time and they want to leave and maximize their effect of their hair. So with KC Express, I'm able to touch every single client that sits in the chair and give them that effect of our signature keratin, no matter if they're getting color, haircut, whatever. Everybody needs frizz-free finish. Everybody wants softness and shine, and everybody wants that protection of their hair to be able to get those beautiful salon blow dries at home by themselves without having to spend money every week to get that beautiful blow dry, right? And so we still want them to come in and get the blow dry, but what we can do at that blow dry is maybe add a couple of the other services to maximize that blow dry, and that's why I brought that up, right? So KC Express, first treatment, super cool. All right. Now the next treatment or service that we offer is called our red carpet blow dry. It requires two products, our infusion and our intense RX. I'm trying to get accustomed.
You gotta do one of these.
I gotta.
You gotta do the influencer hand behind the back.
Where my camera is. That's what I need to do, right? So the Intense RX is a repair serum. So think about keratin on the inside of your hair, repairing and getting rid of split ends from the inside, really bonding with that keratin. And then infusion is our keratin replenisher on the surface of the hair to really kind of strengthen that cuticle and get those smooth results on the outside cuticle. So by combining these two in a service that we call the red carpet blow dry, everybody's right now wanting to walk down the street like they're on a catwalk, right? I see it all the time. The wind blowing in their hair and just having it, but allowing that hair to still be soft, shiny, and not just, the frizz of Florida. Just by the end of the day, the hair's out to here. It started here, but it ended out to here. We're able to control that with our red carpet blow dry and give them that keratin smoothing treatment effect, but until the next wash, right? And really strengthen that hair from the inside. And so by applying this and then applying this and then blow drying it right in the hair, you're able to add a service called the red carpet blow dry to give the ultimate blow dry to a client. Now, if you think behind the chair, most of our services finish with a blow dry. So this is a very easy kind of point of entry for an add-on service like the red carpet blow dry to give them a taste of what Keratin Complex can offer them with the soft, silky, shiny, smooth, strong hair, but also open the door for other services. A lot of my clients, when I do this, the next progression of this treatment would actually be the KC Express, right? So you see, laying foundations for things can ultimately build your business and really grow out your portfolio of services by just utilizing some products from Keratin Complex to give them ultimate health of their hair utilizing our signature keratin.
Yeah, and that's just a little taste of what you could get if you added the 15-minute service. Like, oh, do you like your hair? Well, you can get this hair for 6 weeks if you add this service.
Right, and so and then both of these as a service can be sold individually to a client for retail as a support of that treatment that you gave them at home. So a lot of what we do at Keratin Complex is not only give you the tools for the service, but the tools of the connection of service, meaning that aftercare, being able to go home with the client, you have faith and confidence that what they're doing at home by utilizing these products are protecting the work that you're doing behind the chair. And a lot of times we let our clients just out the door. We give them a whole bunch of recommendations, products, and things like that. But when they get home, they literally just are looking at a ocean of product, and they're just utilizing whatever they feel that day, or I have a little bit more of this bottle and this. But the minute you can attach products with a treatment and they see and feel that treatment, they're going to want to reestablish or relive that treatment at home. And that's the great thing by sending some of these products home as aftercare, because not only do these products give you that red carpet blow dry service, not only do they help give that client that service support at home, these are also great maintenance products for our KC Express and other treatments that we offer at Keratin Complex. So because they all share that signature Keratin story, you're able to mix and match whatever your clients need, dependent on the products that you send home with them. Somebody asked a question, do you charge for the red carpet blow dry? If so, what do you charge? That is a great question. So think about your blow dry. So a lot of times what I do is I think about my blow dry charge that I personally charge. And then as adding in the red carpet blow dry service into that blow dry will be a surcharge on top of that already blow dry, right? So if you just had a blow dry come in, it might be a $50 blow dry, right? I might charge $25 on top of that to add the red carpet blow dry. But if I want to add it to maybe a service or things like that, that already has some blow dry, then you can kind of lower that price a little bit more because that blow dry is already happening. It's up to you to really choose, I like to say the red carpet blow dry is about $50 average nationally, right? To add it to a ticket. Yes. But a lot of what we're talking about is making it, kind of being able to allow your client to consume it, right? And a lot of times the higher price tickets, it's harder to consume, right? It's harder to, the client starts having a hard time swallowing those extra charges.
Yeah.
But utilizing what you're already doing, and that's the great thing about this express service menu is it can be added to what you're already doing in the salon. So a lot of times just the price of the product and a little bit of extra work, you're making so much more revenue on top of that because you're not only getting the revenue from that service, but you're getting a small upcharge on that service by just adding a product or two in there to maximize that service that you're doing. And so business building is not all about trying to milk your client for everything they got. It's about establishing your client to understand that sometimes we need to boost your ticket to be able to get them where they need to go. And it doesn't have to be like every time they come in, I'm trying to squeeze every dollar out of their pocket. What I'm doing is giving them value through some of these services that are very easy to add to services that they're already getting charged for. And so $50 is kind of the kind of baseline, but play with it within your, kind of clientele to see what sticks. Because what I want you to be able to do with any of these products is to fit these products into your business to be able to maximize, the revenue you get out of these products. Because if I go in and I have maybe a lower priced menu and I come in with a $400 ticket item, it's going to be a very hard thing to get a client to climb Mount Everest to be able to get that service. I can start with some of these smaller services and start raising my bottom line of my client's, ability to spend. Mm-hmm. And then once it gets higher, then I keep adding services to keep growing together with my client. I think that's very important in our industry, not only to offer a whole bunch of services, but make those services attainable for the client. So they notice the value right away, and then you can start amplifying those services up and up and up. And that's what we talk about in a lot of our Keratin Complex education and things, is really building a business by utilizing all of these products as tools.
Yeah, and I think the good thing about being running your own business as a stylist is you get to make the price however you want to do it. It's totally up to you. And I think it's just finding the balance between what can my clients afford, what do my clients want, and how much do I think I should charge based on my experience, my education, and what I'm offering. Just trying to find that sweet spot between the two. But like I said, it's your business. You are allowed to charge whatever you want.
It is your business. And what we want to do is allow you to make as much money as possible through our products. So we do have recommended service prices for a lot of what we are talking about today, and some of our other treatments and things that we offer. So with like KC Express, our recommended service price or suggested price is $150 as a standalone treatment. But what we say at Keratin Complex is if you add KC Express to any service that you're already doing, cut that in half. Yeah. Because that's going to add value to that service that you're doing. And it's only adding a small little section of time within. Let me do the math real quick, Katie. I know stylists don't like to do the math, but think about this and blow your mind, right? So if KC Express is at $150 for 1 hour of time, right? 1 hour of time for $150. But I can make 75 in 15 minutes. If I did 15-minute add-ons and did 4 of them, I would actually have double the money in an hour than I did with a standalone KC Express. Meaning if I did 4 services of an add-on KC Express, 15 plus 15 plus 15 plus 15 is 1 hour. At $75 a piece, it would be $300. But a standalone KC Express is $150. So in that terms, I'm actually making more money as an add-on service than I am as standalone services, not in the amount of money I'm making, but the amount of heads that I'm touching and the amount of extending out services I'm already performing. I'm actually expanding my revenue tenfold at that time by the end of the year, because one, I'm not just offering that service to individuals here and there. I'm adding on to almost every single client that comes in and only adding 15 minutes to my overall service time. So and Artist on Go is, time is money, right? Behind the chair, time is money. As I go in and I'm grabbing up these chairs in these salons and I'm, flat rate with all this stuff, I'm trying to maximize my time behind the chair. And KC Express, and a lot of this express service menu, because of that small little add-on kind of morsel that you can chew on, you're actually, every hour you're working, you're boosting that revenue more and more and more to where you're adding a lot of revenue for very little bit of time behind the chair.
Yeah, and with Artist on Go, you're paying for the time you're in your chair, so you want it to be quick. You're like, I can add 15 more minutes. That's totally fine. I can't add, 3.5 hours for something that may not make me my 3.5 hour rent. So I think that's quick but efficient, I think, is definitely something that stylists are looking for right now, for sure.
And just adding that value, just adding value. It's not about discounting. It's about adding value, right? We do education like this with this webinar, to better ourselves, right? And to add value to what we do behind the chair. That value will ultimately, hopefully, make us money. So we're in a webinar right now that is, in theory, set up for us to make money down the road with our clients because it's adding value to our overall career that we have chosen. And so that is key when we're thinking about that kind of things. All right. So the last product we're going to talk about, right? So we went Infusion and TenseRx, that's 2 products. KC Express, that's 3 products. We're going to talk about the 4th product, which is our Vital Shot. Where's the camera, right? Our Vital Shot. It actually comes in an ampule or a back bar size, right? So the ampule is single use. The back bar is pump and go, right? Now, what is Vital Shot? We talked about what Keratin is before. Vital Shot is a concentrated dose of our signature keratin that you can add to a lot of the services that you're doing. So this is the type of bond rebuilding kind of message behind our industry that you put in color, in your lightener, straight on the hair, or layer it with a mask. So those are 4 different services you're able to achieve with Vital Shots. And what it does is it goes in and strictly replenishes keratin. So it gives you that bond rebuilding, not only bond rebuilding in an overall sense, but a keratin bond rebuilder to go in and replenish very strongly and very easily that keratin that is, depleted on a regular basis. So this is something that you can add, when you add it to color, it adds no time to the service, and you can, jump on for $15, $20, $25 as a bond builder addition into some of your services. When you put it in your lightener, the same type of thing. It will not affect anything that do with your color. You don't have to change your developer strength. You don't have to change your formulations. You mix your color and then you squeeze the right amount of Vital Shots into your formulation to give you an instantly keratin enhanced formula with whatever color, whatever lightener, whatever you're doing on somebody's hair. This is also great straight on the hair, so you can prep somebody's hair with just shampoo, come back to the station, and actually pump 2 to 3 pumps on an average head, mid shafts and ends, a little bit on top, and then you let it sit for a minute or two, and then blow dry it right in the hair to get that instant bond rebuilding effect of Vital Shot.
Got it. And someone asked if these products affect perms. Can you do a perm the same day?
So a perm is a chemical service. And in our industry, we know what chemical services do to the hair, especially a chemical service like something that breaks bonds, right? Like disulfide bonds. Once you're breaking bonds, they have to go through that neutralizing effect to reestablish that shape. So what I would recommend and what I utilize all the time behind the chair is keratin complex products after a perm to help start, help start repairing that hair, healing that hair, making the hair healthy. So after a perm, you could do whatever you want with keratin complex products. I would not the chemical makeup of like a perm would eat keratin away within the processing, but it's definitely with keratin complex products you're able to utilize after a perm to help strengthen that that newly shaped hair type to be able to strengthen that curl and strengthen that hair. The one thing about perm sometimes is that hair gets weak and it starts drawing that perm out because of the weakness of the hair. If I utilize some like a Vital Shot or some of our other products like our Infusion Intense RX, we're able to strengthen that hair so it maintains that perm for a lot longer. So when you really kind of focus on what keratin is and the importance of keratin in the hair and replenishing that keratin can make any type of hair, no matter if it's gone through a chemical service or just natural hair, better, healthier, and stronger. Great question. Great question.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. So those are the products, right? The 5 products, along with the Keratin Obsessed. We do have material, right? So we do have a menu of services that you can actually access off of our keratincomplex.com website on Resource Center. And then we actually have a step-by-step of all the services. You can learn how to do each and every one of these services. So the red carpet blow dry, you can actually turn right to the red carpet blow dry. It tells you what products you need, how to do the service, how to get specific finishes that you're looking for, all of that just straight from our educational and supportive product manuals and collateral that you need to really add these products into your business and start these services right away on your clients.
Perfect. And then someone asked if you can use the KC primer before the perm.
Oh, so KC primer is not a clarifying shampoo.
Okay.
So what I would recommend is use your perm appropriate clarifying shampoo prior to perm. Our KC primer, which we'll talk about it now because it is part of what we're discussing. Our KC primer pre-treatment shampoo is really it's pH balanced, not to strip the hair and raise the cuticle all to heaven and back. What it does is it's a gentle formula to pH balance the hair to allow the cuticle to be prepped to just allow keratin inside. So we don't want that cuticle blown out like this because a lot of things can come in and out during a service. So the KC primer is really pH balanced to really, one, remove product off the cuticle layer, but also raise or lower the cuticle just for keratin or our keratin treatment or our signature keratin to be able to go right in and affect the hair correctly when we're doing the treatment. Great question.
Absolutely. Yeah, great.
All that one question, I'm going to jump on it. All this information is on our website. So or we have free virtual education every Monday on our website. You just go to virtual education, click on it. You can sit through individual classes, just like we're doing this webinar. It'll be live and everything, and you'll be able to ask direct questions with educators that are answering it. One more question. How long does Vital Shot last? That is great question. So Vital Shot, because it works on the inside of the hair, it does replenish inside and outside, but it has no, with our treatments, we utilize heat to seal and bond the keratin strongly together. With Vital Shot, it is a instantaneous effect on the hair. So it can last maybe up to 4 to 5 washes. So that could be maybe a 2-3 week kind of window. But it's really to be able to kind of start you on that path of strengthening your hair and giving you that effect of that keratin right away. If people are looking for more longevity, the great thing about that is Vital Shot is the first step, right? You can go into the red carpet blow dry, added with the Vital Shot. You could do a lot of that and then go up into our KC Express. And then, of course, we have a full portfolio of treatments that, some of our treatments last up to 5 months in the hair due to that specific treatment. So we have something for everybody. But the one thing when we talk about longevity, I find, especially behind the chair, and I talk to a lot of salons and stylists, we get too behind this longevity kind of crutch sometimes. Mm-hmm. If I had clients that their hair was melting off and I could start saving it right now, today, with introducing a little bit of keratin into their hair, longevity is not an issue at that point.
Yeah.
Right? For that client, they don't care how long it lasts, just as long as it's going to do something today. So what I need to do is focus on the individual needs of the client with some of these products and start building a foundation to where that longevity will naturally just start incrementally getting longer and longer because I'm creating a healthier hair. That's why you notice with any of our treatments, anything we say at Keratin Complex, we always say up to a certain amount of time. Yeah. Because it does matter on what that client is doing at home with their own hair, the mechanical stuff that they're doing to their hair. If they're putting 450 degrees on their hair, nothing will last. Their hair might not even last, right? Yeah. That's very true. And so it is something that, yes, if we set a foundation and we get our clients on board with the message behind that Keratin Complex message, then you're able to get longer and longer and longer lasting results. And the great thing about our signature keratin is it does have a cumulative effect, meaning the more you use it, the better quality of hair you will get, right? So it's not just a one-time use, right? Because what happens to the keratin in our hair naturally on a regular basis?
It's less strong, it fades.
Yeah, it gets depleted, right? So even if I put a natural bonding keratin in your hair, the natural tendency of your hair is to naturally deplete it, right? By environment, by chemical, by mechanical. So the continual use of our products and that same type of keratin on a client can ultimately start building that strength from within to where now it's not releasing as much because the hair is stronger and holding that keratin in. So the more times that you can get a client to utilize our Keratin Complex products for a longer period of time, you're going to see that enhancement of that keratin on the hair actually exponentially grow with every single use after that hair starts really getting strong. And it makes sense when we start talking about it a little bit like this.
Yeah, so consistency is key. You can't just do an ab workout one time and then you have abs. You have to keep doing the abs.
I try that every month. I do abs for one day and then I suffer for a month and then nothing. I don't get anywhere, Katie.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Someone asked if you can use the red carpet products individually or do you have to use them together?
Yeah, so we've created a service with them together because remember, Intense RX really works on the inner layers of the hair. Infusion lives on the surface. So you could, if you had somebody with repair issues or split end issues, you could just send them home just straight with an Intense RX for a repair serum effect, right? Or if somebody wanted polished blow dries all the time, get rid of frizz and things like that, this is a perfect blow dry cream just on that surface of the hair.
Yeah.
The important thing to know about these, because they need to live next to where they need to bond, you would put these products on before you put any other styling or prep products on the hair. You want those as close to the the cleansed hair as possible to be able to really penetrate in and have that effect in the hair? It's a great question.
Yeah, great question.
All right.
Okay.
Wow, we just went through all of that. It was awesome.
I know we're buzzing through.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to talk a little bit about Artist on Go and how Artist on Go can sort of help you maximize the revenue behind your chair. Our biggest thing is you pay for the time you are in the chair. So how to maximize your revenue behind the chair? Only pay for the time that you're actually using. Keep more of your profits. No more flat rate rent. You pay for, if you're working 40 hours a month, you pay for those 40 hours. There's no $3,000 rent at a suite where it's sitting there for 4 days out of the week. Or flexible renting is the biggest thing as well. You can choose your hours, days, and you can even switch locations. We have a salon pass where you can work in the salon that's closest to your clients, wherever they are, in the city, in New York, in LA, in Miami, wherever you want to work. You can buy our little salon pass. It's 10 hours. And you can choose whatever salon you want to work in that's closest to this client or this client. Oh, this client only wants to go to Melrose in LA. Oh, this client only wants me to work in Soho. You can sort of build your plan and build your rent and your salon based on what your clients want and what you want at the end of the day. And so that since you can work in different locations, you can expand your clientele as well. Oh, I can work in Soho and the Upper East Side and the Upper West Side. Oh, I can work in Melrose and Silver Lake and other parts of LA that are skipping me because I don't live there. Wherever in LA, because you can go to different salons with our salon pass and go where your clients need you. And so you can expand your clientele. Yes, I work all around LA, not just in Hollywood, you know? And then you can invest in your own growth. Since you're keeping more of your profits and you're maximizing your revenue behind the chair, you can invest now in your growth. You can, go to behind the chair rewards and pay for education from behind the chair. You can pay for education for Keratin Complex. You can, add these services to your revenue as well and invest more in building your business and getting more experience and your education. And so that you can ultimately become the stylist that you want to be. So that's sort of the gist with Artist on Go and building up your revenue, and definitely adding these services to your clients as well can sort of build your revenue as well. So,
and I think that's great because, Katie, I mean, really in this new industry that we live in, you have to go where the money is, not make the money come to you. It's easier to go where the money is. And so if I used to live in Southern California. I was there for, I don't even want to say how long I lived there, but it was a long time before I moved to South Florida. But I would have clients that live in Beverly Hills. I would have clients that live in Pasadena. I would have clients that live, in Santa Monica and things like that, right? And making them all come to somewhere centralized, right, put a lot of stress to where they wouldn't visit you maybe as much as they should because of that travel and that extra, time that they needed. Artist on Go allows me to go right in the center of the meat, so to speak, with all my clients. And I could spend 1, 2, 3 days a week in one area, take care of everybody and do a rotation in different places. Excitement is what this industry is about. And even allowing your client to have that excitement to where, they can, kind of follow you around and really come to you because they trust you with their hair really is something that is awesome when it comes to Artist on Go. So,
and I think in the past, to service all of the clients that don't want to meet you in a centralized location, it's like, oh, we're going to do, home visits. We're going to go to your home and it's like, some people don't want that. Some people don't want you to come to their house. Some people want to go to a beautiful salon and get their hair done and feel like they're having a star celebrity experience. And so now you can sort of build that experience, but without making them travel to a centralized location that maybe is out of their way. And they're like, you know what, I think I'm going to push back and I'm only going to do 6 weeks next time. I'm going to extend I'm going to make the highlights go down a little bit on my scalp so that I only have to come every 6 weeks instead of every 4 weeks. So this just kind of solves that issue. And
Yeah,
it's
and think about the overhead as well, right, Katie?
yeah,
Owning a place for months and months on end and only utilizing it maybe half the time or a tenth of the time. Being able to have more money in your pocket. Artists on Go is really about putting more money in the pockets of the stylists and helping the industry, solve a specific part of the industry that is really needed, and that's flexibility with people's work places and work schedules, right?
yeah,
So,
absolutely.
awesome.
And then someone asked, how many salons do you have registered in the program? So we have hundreds of salons. We're building our platform a lot right now. We're working on building a lot in LA. We have a ton in New York right now. We're trying to build some more in LA. We have some in LA. We have some in Miami. We have some in Chicago. We have some in just everywhere right now. But yeah, feel free to check out our website. You can search salons on our website as well. So if there's an area you're looking for, you can search it there and see if we have a salon in your area. And if you're a salon owner and you're watching this, feel free you can list your salon on our site. If you have a Google listing, it's really, really easy to list your salon and it'll go into drafts and then someone will contact you and you can list your salon with us pretty quickly. So that's also available to you. Okay, are we ready for demo?
Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect timing. We're going to close out this webinar with some exciting, kind of live action here. I love it. It helps me get up too and get a little stretchy legs here. So KC Express, I'm going to go over the KC Express smoothing treatment and explain, and we're going to go through each protocol. I'm only going to do this one little section, so you're going to see how fast and easy it is. I'll probably be able to finish this whole section in about 10 minutes. That shows you how quick and easy this is. So remember, 2-part system, pre-treatment shampoo, KC primer. You're going to, if you do a standalone treatment, you're going to do 2 shampoos with the KC primer. If you add this into a service, like a color service, let's just pretend my client just got color. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shampoo with a color safe shampoo first to remove all the color debris. And then I'm only going to follow up with a gentle KC primer shampoo to pH balance the hair right in place for the treatment. So 2 times for a standalone, 1 time with the KC primer. All of this information is in our one sheets and our manuals and things like that. So don't hesitate to even take a hour-long Zoom class on our website to get even further involved with this. But I'm going to show you how quick and easy this is. I've poured the treatment in the bowl. All I need is gloves, bowl, damp hair, right? So after the KC primer comes back, I'm going to towel dry it completely, right? You want the hair to be damp. You don't want the hair to be wet. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll run my hands through it. If I have a lot of water running down my glove, then I know it's wet. If I only see a sheen of moisture on my glove, then I know it's damp. So that's a great tip. We don't want the hair wet. We just want it damp. This treatment takes 1-inch subsections. All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply this treatment from scalp to ends. But what I want to do, and I'm going to give you a tip on a perfect keratin complex application. You're gonna see this everywhere. A lot of people think that treatments, especially because they have that little bubble that we talked about earlier, they have one result, right? Most time most clients think that this is the most unruly hair, and then this is the most damaged hair. But if you think about where keratin is the most, the most abundant, it's actually up here. You actually have more keratin in this type of hair than you do down here because this hair is older. So the closer you are to the scalp, the more keratin content you have in the hair. So actually this needs less keratin than down here, but this needs more keratin result than down here. Meaning a lot of times we'll need to adjust our passes with the iron or our blow drying to affect that. And it'll make sense in just a second. I just wanted to kind of start off with that. So this is the perfect keratin complex application right now, right? So put product on my brush. I'm going to go right to about 1/4 inch away from the scalp, and I'm just going to lay some product right onto the top surface. You see I'm about a 45-degree angle, and I'm just laying it on the top surface. The hair is actually a little bit more dry underneath. This is not a color, so I don't want to apply it like that. When I get to the mid shafts and ends, that's when I start moving the brush more in a parallel fashion, right? So 45-degree, mid shafts and ends, because that's where actually you're going to need more keratin product, because one, it's more porous here, so it's going to draw more product in, and two, it's usually the biggest integrity issued area on the hair, right? So then I take my comb, I work from the bottom all the way up to the top, come from underneath, and then what I do is I put my comb through one more time to allow it just to fall in natural form. Okay? That easy. So now you're going to see it in real time. All right? So I take a ½ inch, right? Get or 1 inch, sorry, 1 inch. Grab my brush, 1, 2, mid shafts and ends, comb through. So very fast, very easy, right? And that's why we call KC Express a 15-minute add-on, because this application should take about 15 minutes, right? So if I was doing it on a color service, right, KC Express requires a pre-treatment shampoo, but in a color service, I'm shampooing the color out. So that shares that time. There's no extra time with the extra KC primer, because after a shampoo, what do we usually use? I'm asking you, Katie. Conditioner, right? With KC Express, we're not utilizing conditioner. We're utilizing another KC primer pre-treatment shampoo. So that's going to take that time of the conditioner. Now, after a color service, after the wash, a lot of times stylists will give a blow dry and a polish to that client for when they leave. Well, guess what the next steps after the application of a KC Express? It's a blow dry and a polish. So the only time you're actually adding into a color service is the time I'm spending right now applying this treatment throughout, because KC Express does not have a saturation or penetration time. The minute you're done applying, you're going to go right into blow dry, right into ironing. Okay.
Good to know. Also, I guess a note is don't oversaturate, because the idea is like, oh, let me put a whole bunch like you would with like conditioner.
Well, because a lot of times people think I need more product to achieve stronger results.
Yes.
And in everything we do in the salon, that is not the case, right? I don't need the strongest lightener to lighten somebody's hair. What I need to do is be able to use that lightener to achieve the results I want on a client. So it's not about making the treatment, stronger. It's about you knowing how the treatment is working to where you can manipulate that treatment to achieve the results that you want. So a lot of times this is what a normal stylist looks like applying treatment. They come up here and they put it on like color, right? And then they're re-dipping to come through the ends, right?
Yes.
And then they're coming up and they're going like, what does this look like to you?
That looks like color.
This looks like color, right? This is not color. This is a keratin treatment, a true keratin treatment. KC Express, the first two ingredients in the bottle is water and keratin, right? So that lets you know the focus of this is to allow that keratin to actually go into the hair naturally to really get the strongest bonding that you can possibly do. If I comb through this right now, I would probably have some product dripping out of my comb right now. That is what I do not want to see, because remember, right after this application, I'm going to go right into the blow dry. Now, I've been doing this. Yeah, it'll get heavy. It'll get sticky almost. You'll see a lot of product burn off in the air. That is true signs of oversaturation. But if you look I applied this, and remember, I put most product on the ends, and you can tell just within the last, 4 or 5 minutes, this has already started drying on the ends because of that porosity. So the importance is not to oversaturate here, because that's where most people oversaturate. The issue with oversaturating at the scalp is up here, the hair is the least porous, meaning that it doesn't absorb a lot of product up at the base. So what I'm doing is I'm adding a lot of product that actually is never going to get into the hair. It's just going to sit on the surface to when I do blow dry. Now I'm not blow drying the hair. I'm blow drying excess product on top of the hair. That's going to, one, make your work a lot harder, right? Because that blow dry should be real quick with that treatment on it. And two, it's going to cause a improper seal when you go through with the iron, because that heat has to go through a whole bunch of dried product on the hair. I want to seal the treatment inside the hair. I don't want to seal the treatment on the hair. So that's the key with Keratin Complex compared to some other treatments out there. All right. Yes. I love how Katie's like, you're right, Paul. Power to Keratin Complex. Okay. So I did these 2 sections. I'm going to show you how quick the blow dry is, right? So what we want to do is we want to keep our gloves on when the treatment is damp in the hair, and then we can take our gloves off when the treatment is dry on the hair. So I'm going to utilize my gloves. One, to help, I'm going to do an 80% blow dry with my fingers to break up any moisture pockets. And then I'm going to utilize a vent brush or a round brush to finish the blow dry to 100%. Okay.
Okay.
I need to turn the power on first, I guess. Got it. So what I'm going to do is just do a 80% blow dry. You notice most of my blow drying is happening right here at the base. Remember, this doesn't need a lot of drying work, even though I put the most product there. So I just allow, so look at how fast that was, right? So now I'm about 80%, right?
Yeah.
A blast of air is really blow drying this in. If she had a lot of texture and I wanted to reduce as much texture as possible, I would come in maybe with a round brush to kind of put the hair under a little bit of a tension to where my iron doesn't have to do all the work to get out the texture. But because she already has, she has a little wave, but it's going to be very easy to get this straight for my polish section. I'm going to utilize just my paddle brush for this. And the same thing, you notice I focus my air down the hair shaft because I don't want to overdo the heat on the ends, right? I want to seal the ends. I don't want to damage the ends. That easy.
Paul, the people want to know what gloves you're using. They're very tight, is what someone said.
Well, I need extra large gloves. These are large gloves. I need extra large. I only had large today, so.
That's why.
Yes, that's why.
That's the secret. Use a size too small.
No. So Katie, before we even came on, Katie saw me blowing in these gloves and stretching them out. So when I do put them on, it didn't look like I was putting on, a glove for like a 4-year-old, right?
Yeah.
So thank you for calling me out, webinar attendees. Thank you for that. So I have a question here. Do you comb the product through the other subsection? That is a great tip. I didn't even talk to you. You noticed every section I went through, the last thing I did through that section is comb through it, and then I don't touch it until I'm completely done. The reason for that is if you keep your sections separated and you keep your sections combed, you're able to allow air to go in between the sections and through the sections, allowing some air drying as you're applying. So when you go to blow dry, you don't have a compressed wet thing that you have to break. I usually call it a moisture sausage, right? When people do this and it just creates like a moisture sausage. And most of the time, like chorizo, we have to go in there and break it all up to get the goodness out. But by separating those sections and not combining them all together, you're able to get some natural drying within.
Yeah, and again, it's about less is more. So you don't want to
a lot of times
make sure they get all the product, like making it the less product you have on there, the better.
Katie, in our industry as stylists, I know because I was a salon owner, stylist, we work too hard.
Yeah.
Because we try to maximize everything we're doing because we're trying to, squeeze every ounce of whatever we're doing. Sometimes just taking a step back and just confidently doing something actually gives you better results, because you're not, really going in nitpicking and actually causing you extra work on the back end. So I'm really teaching you kind of just a real easy version of this, to where you can pick this treatment up today, go do it, and you're going to have great results just following what we're talking about.
Yeah.
All right. So the next step is the iron step, right? Because remember, right after the blow dry, we go right into ironing. So with KC Express, the temperature range is 380 to 400 degrees. So 380, 390, or 400, 2 to 4 passes. So 2, 3, or 4 passes. This is how I tell everybody how to figure out what you need to do. What I'm going to do first is choose a temperature that's correct for their hair, meaning that I don't want to, use the highest heat on somebody's hair that cannot handle that type of heat. Yeah. So I want to live within that temperature range that the client's hair is naturally going to seal at. Yes. Anytime I go above and beyond that, I'm actually causing damage, which can actually break down the treatment. So once I pinpoint the right temperature, then the passes is what's going to give me the result. So if I had somebody that maybe blow dried their hair and curled their hair, did like your style every day, Katie, put a wand in and really kind of get some movement, I don't want to take all their texture out of the hair, right? The texture is what they love. What they want is a smoothed out texture. So I would, if I want to keep texture or not reduce curl or any type of movement in the hair, then I'm going to do lower passes, so 2 passes. Yes. If a client is looking for texture reduction, then I'm going to do higher passes, 4 passes. Now, this is not a straightening treatment, so this does not break bonds. Remember, our keratin repairs bonds, rebuilds bonds, naturally bonds and strengthens those bonds. So this is really about utilizing this product to achieve that frizz-free, protected, strong hair, that they're able to do whatever style they want at home. That's why I say KC Express is literally a treatment for every type of hair, every texture of hair, every style of hair.
Yeah.
All right. So your average client's going to be right in the middle, right? So 390, 3 passes is pretty much 80% of your clientele, right? Just that average client just has that medium density, loves to blow dry, but then maybe sometimes likes to straighten it, so play with it and figure out what's best for your client. I'm going to start right at the scalp and go all the way through to the end. So I'm going to do 3 passes, right? So 1 pass, I'm taking 1-inch subsections, right? I'm going to go all the way through. Now the second pass, I'm actually going to turn my iron about a quarter turn, right? Because what that's going to do is actually give a blowed out effect, a blow dry effect to the hair. This doesn't have to be, because of KC Express, I'm not really looking to be kind of like a tin soldier hair, right? Yeah. I'm looking for movement. I'm just looking for, like, if I just gave them the best blow dry of their life. That's the effect that I'm going for with KC Express. So 1 more pass, I'm just going to affect that. And you notice I'm getting a beautiful movement right there. That's it. 3 passes. If she had a little texture and she wanted to get a little bit extra, I could do that extra pass. Or maybe she had some damage within a part of her hair, I could do 2 passes and make sure my temperature is down. A lot of times I tell people utilizing keratin complexes, you can customize the temperature and passes depending on where on the head you're working on as well.
Yeah.
Right. And that's it.
Nice.
Now the treatment is done. The minute I'm done polishing, look at that.
Gorge, shiny.
Right? Look at that. Look at that. Right. This is what the after picture on Instagram or that's what it's all about, right? That pop, right? And that was just with the treatment, just in the hair, nothing else. That's ultimately what it is. KC Express has an 8-hour wait time on getting their hair wet, putting their hair in ponytails, things like that. So it is an 8-hour wait time. That's why giving them movement is going to allow them to not feel like they're, closed in a box with that straight hair just straight down. A lot of clients love movement. So utilizing that quarter turn is going to help them. It's an 8-hour wait time. That doesn't mean they have to wash after 8 hours. I have people that get KC Express and live with it for a week because that's how much they love this treatment. It's just important to, right now, after all that ironing, allow those bonds to settle naturally into the hair. And with this treatment, it's an 8-hour wait time for that.
Do you think it's better to wash your hair less with this treatment? Do you think that's
So,
or
so
does
that's
it
a
matter?
great thing in our industry. We have clients that have a wash routine or an at-home routine all the time, right? It differs from person to person. Some people don't wash for 2 weeks. I used to be in a salon, and the only time the person saw shampoo and conditioner was with me, right? When they visited me. The key to shampooing and washing is a lot of times not roughing the cuticle up while you shampoo. I don't care how often you shampoo, but shampoo it can be, even non-sulfate shampoos, they do still have a detergent, that activation. And a lot of times it's not the shampoo that's causing damage to the hair. It's our agitation of that shampoo with our hands or our clients. Our clients are scrubbing their hair like it's the kitchen floor, and I just spilled chocolate pudding everywhere. They're down there like just scrubbing. They're scrubbing it like this, and I just want them just to utilize the shampoo like this. Just run their fingers through, very gentle. Allow that shampoo to go in and do its work without having to be agitated to the full effect, because that agitation is just causing cuticle on cuticle constriction and friction, and what that's doing is it's causing that effect to where you get grabbies from all that cuticle being agitated through the shampoo. So I don't care how often somebody shampoos. One, I want them to utilize a good quality shampoo that's not going to naturally strip their hair or naturally take away some of the goodness of their hair. But also I want them gently washing it, because their hair is, especially with KC Express, that cuticle is closed. Less buildup is going to be inside the hair, so you're going to naturally need less friction and less scrubbing into the hair. And especially if you utilize our shampoos and conditioners with Keratin complex, really having that same keratin, and then sodium chloride, you want to stay away with aftercare. That's the one thing in this last couple of minutes that I want to tell everybody with aftercare. You want to stay away from anything salt-based or sodium chloride-based, because if you've ever been to the beach, on the ocean in the salt water, what does your hair feel like at the end of the beach? It's not the sand making it feel all rough and dry. It's the actual salt in the air. Salt actually breaks down keratin on the surface of the hair. So all of our shampoos and conditioners and all of our products are based off of the support and maintenance of our treatments. And all of our shampoos and conditioners have no added sodium chloride to make sure that they're achieve that type of result for that client, to keep that hair soft, silky, shiny, and smooth, like you just saw with the KC Express. And so it's important for them to go home with those certain products that are going to really help them maximize and take care of the service that you just offered, that you just charge them money for, right? So it's a little bit of our responsibility, because if I don't trust the client and I'm going to do a $300 treatment on them, or a $150 treatment, or even a $75, and I know they're not going to take care of it. First thing in my mind is they're going to call me next week. Hey, the treatment didn't work. The treatment didn't do it. And I learned that they jumped in a swimming pool. They, are utilizing drugstore shampoos and stuff, and they're really just strip the keratin right out of their hair. And what that's going to make me do is, one, I'm going to have to redo the treatment, or I'm going to have to take care of that client. And so that's all time that, if you really want to make sure that your clients are, maintaining and supporting the treatment at home, is to send them home with some of those products that are going to take a lot of that work away from themselves, to where they're going to ruin the treatment or not be able to take care of the treatment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then if we have any questions, this is our Q&A.
Q&A. We're like the last minute or two. We're right in here. Any questions?
Someone asked, is the application the same for all the treatments? The less is more?
Yes. The only one that we recommend to generously apply, not generously, but not oversaturate, but just to use more generous, is our curl enhancing treatment, KC Texture, because that one does not get blow dried or ironed. There is no heat that is involved with our KC Texture. So that is more kind of like a conditioning kind of treatment that goes on the hair, but still has that smoothing effect. That's the only one that you would just go through like you were painting the hair with color. All of our other treatments, you would utilize that same technique for all of them.
Awesome. Okay, if there's no more questions, I think we're ready for our giveaway portion.
Ooh, somebody's gonna win. Somebody's gonna win.
I'm gonna stop presenting. I think that's how I have to do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Or let me just
pull a name. Pull a name. We got to do this. We got to get somebody to win.
Absolutely. Let's see.
I can't wait for one of you guys to grab this. If you've used it before, it's great. If you haven't used it before, it's great. Whoever wins this is gonna make some money right now. That's awesome.
Absolutely. I'm excited. Okay, here we go. I can add. Okay, we ready?
We got a spinner. Ooh, somebody's gonna win. Somebody's gonna win. Yeah. Woo! Congratulations. I don't even want to like try to say that name, but awesome. Congratulations. We're going to send that out to you. Priscilla's going to reach out to you, get your information, and congratulations on winning our KC Express 4-ounce system kit. I'm excited for you to try it. So that's great. All right. So Katie fell off, but I'm here. We are done with the webinar. Any last, I don't know if Katie want to jump on here, if there was any last minute things. We want to thank you all for your time. Please reach out to either of us. You can go to Artist on Go. We do have a couple of last slides that we can run through to give you some information. One of them is our KC Expressives, which is a social community that you guys can, if you want, sign up to be in. That's something through Keratin Complex. It's all about having that community, a spotlight on all of our marketing channels. You get swag. So sign up now and join this social community. It's just all of us coming together, showing off beautiful hair, and being able to kind of just utilize each of our talents to really show off the great things that Keratin Complex has to offer. So sign up today, KC Expressives. Any other slides? We're going to the next slide.
Hi guys, sorry, here I am. I got kicked out of my meeting room. More
we
cases.
also have we go behind the bottle at our new resource center. We talked about that throughout the thing. Visit Keratin Complex, go to our resource center. You'll see a lot of what I talked about in individual collateral for you. We also have social media content and stuff like that to where you can just pull and use. It's a great kind of resource for all of you guys. Check out education. Come see me at some classes, Zoom. Check me out on Instagram. I'm always putting cool videos up and stuff like that. So just reach out if you have any questions. We're here to support you.
And then, yeah, if you want to check out Artist on Go, you can contact Yvonne. She'll help you out if you're a salon owner, if you're an artist and you want to check us out, if you want to try us. You can contact Yvonne or visit our website, look at our salons, go in our salon search, see if we have your city available, see if we have a good salon for you. And if you're a salon owner, you can just list your salon. If you have a Google listing, it's really, really easy to just take that Google listing and make a listing on our website. And someone will contact you. So really, really easy, making it as easy as possible. And then for the winner, we have your email. We should have your email. And so we'll contact you. So don't worry about that. That's just a no.
And congratulations again. And thank you all for attending. And it was great spending time with you, Katie. And I'm excited for our partnership. Hope for big things ahead.
Thank you so much.
Good luck, everybody.
Thank you guys. Paul, thank you so much for joining me. I'm sorry I'm in the, I don't know if it's loud.
This is real life. This is real life, girl. I love it. This is
the WeWork life. Okay. Thank you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.